James, a couple days ago, you said you were pretty confident that there is going to be football. What leads you to believe that? And secondly, uh, how would you describe the challenge of protecting student athletes once they return to campus?
Yeah, so the second part of your question, I think, is really the most important one. I can't. I think I should answer the second one because the second one is what's going to impact the first one. It's all about our the welfare of our students and keeping them healthy, and not only our students, but also the fans and everybody. And that's what makes this issue so complicated. So there's all different discussions going on about it. Obviously, you're going to look at what Major League Baseball does. You're going to look at what the NFL does. You're going to learn from some of these other organizations. Obviously, we're not them, but there's lessons that can be learned from them. So, I've said this before. I think you guys have heard me. I'm a believer in science. I'm a believer in medicine and listening to the experts. So I think our decisions have to be based on that. Number one, what are the experts saying? The scientists, what are the doctors saying? What can we do to create the best, safest, healthiest environment we possibly can? That's number one. And then the second part of this, that the reason I say it is there, we all realize there is an economic, part of this as well. And for us to act like there's not an economic part of this would not be being transparent. But it better go in that order. It better go in health and welfare and science based first, and then take an economic impact of it as well, and combine those two things. So for me, I know how important football is, not just to our football program, but to this university and to the community and to the businesses and all the people in the state of Pennsylvania. And I know what football does across the country from that perspective. So, I'm confident that we're going to find a way to make this thing work. I'm hopeful that we're going to find a way to make this thing work, but never and not at the expense of what's in the best interest of health and student welfare.